Wait, don't scroll. If you're ARMY, and you think you've seen every JIKOOK moment out there, you're not ready for this. Before we start, smash that like button, drop your theory in the comments, and subscribe right now to JIKOOK Lover, because what this camera captured at the airport might change the way you see them forever. This wasn't fan service. This wasn't staged. And this definitely wasn't just a coincidence. One look, just a few seconds, in the middle of a crowded airport. But why did it feel like the whole world disappeared around them? Paparazzi zoomed in too close, and what they caught has fans shaking, crying, and asking the same question. Jungkook and Jimin can't deny it anymore. Airports are supposed to be ordinary places. Places where people rush past each other without eye contact. Where luggage wheels scrape the floor in a constant rhythm. Where announcements echo overhead, cold and mechanical. Where no one really stops long enough to feel anything. They're not supposed to hold secrets. They're not supposed to create moments that shake millions of hearts across the world. And yet, somehow that morning, something felt different. The air was heavier. The noise felt distant. Like the entire terminal was unknowingly waiting for something to happen. No one could explain it, but a few cameras were already raised. A few fans were already gripping their phones tighter. And whispers started spreading quietly through the crowd. They're here. 2 simple words, but enough to make thousands of hearts skip at the exact same time. There was no red carpet, no stage lights, no glamorous entrance, just a plain airport hallway under harsh white lights. And maybe that's exactly why what happened next felt so real. Because nothing about it looked staged. Nothing looked planned. It was raw, unfiltered, dangerously honest. Jimin appeared first. Soft blonde hair falling naturally across his forehead, thin glasses framing his face, dressed in dark, elegant layers that made him look calm and untouchable at the same time. He walked with that quiet grace fans knew so well. Head slightly down, hands relaxed, moving like someone used to crowds but still careful around them. He looked normal, too normal, like any other day. And then a few steps behind him, Jungkook, and suddenly everything changed. No flashy outfit, no dramatic styling, just a black jacket, silver earrings catching the light, and a green camouflage cap with a bold white logo pulled low over his eyes. Not a dark plain hat, not something meant to hide completely, but something casual, boyish, almost soft, yet somehow incredibly magnetic. The shadow of the cap covered half his gaze, making it impossible to fully read his expression. Every time he lifted his head slightly, his eyes flashed beneath the brim. Sharp, observant, protective. He didn't walk next to Jimin. He didn't walk far away either. He chose a strange position, right behind him, close enough to reach out in 1 second. Like a shadow, like a silent guard, like instinct. If Jimin slowed down, Jungkook slowed down. If Jimin turned, Jungkook was already looking. If someone moved too close, Jungkook's shoulders subtly tensed. No one told him to do that. No one asked him to. He just did. Naturally. Automatically. Like it wasn't even a decision. And that's what made it dangerous. Because actions you don't think about are usually the most honest ones. At first, people brushed it off. They're just walking. They're just members. Just normal airport behavior. But the longer you watched, the harder it was to ignore. Because that wasn't how coworkers walked. That wasn't how casual friends moved. There was something else there. Something quieter. Something deeper. Then it happened. The moment. The one that changed everything. Jimin suddenly stopped. Maybe a staff member called him. Maybe they changed direction. Maybe it was something small. But Jungkook almost bumped into him because the distance between them was that close. Too close to be accidental. Too close to be random. The camouflage cap tilted slightly as Jungkook lifted his head. And their eyes met. Not for a split second. Not playful. Not exaggerated. Just still. Locked. Time slowed. The airport noise faded. People kept walking around them. But somehow it felt like the world had narrowed down to just 2 people standing inches apart. There was no smile. No joke. No performance. Just a look. Soft. Deep. Dangerously gentle. The kind of look you don't give just anyone. The kind of look that says 1,000 things without a single word. And then Jungkook leaned in slightly. Just a little. His lips moved. A whisper. Too quiet to hear. Too close to be public. Too intimate to be nothing. And that's when the camera zoomed in. Too close. Brutally close. Capturing every detail. Every micro-expression. Every breath. No filters. No edits. No escape. Within minutes, the clip spread everywhere. Twitter exploded. TikTok edits multiplied. Slow motion replays. Screenshots. Zoomed frames. Fans analyzing every pixel like detectives solving a mystery. Did you see the way he looks at him? That's not how friends look. Why is Jungkook always protecting Jimin? They didn't even know the camera was there. That's the real part, because that was the scariest thing. They weren't performing. They weren't aware. Which means, it might have been the most honest moment of all. And honesty, you can't fake that. Comfort like that, you can't act it out. It either exists, or it doesn't. And what people saw in that video looked too real, too natural, too effortless. Like two people who had done this dance 1,000 times before. Like two people who didn't need to speak to understand each other. Like two people whose world quietly shrinks whenever they stand side by side. The airport moment only lasted seconds. But for fans, it felt like a lifetime. Because sometimes, it only takes one look to expose everything. So now the question refuses to go away. If this is just friendship, why does it feel so intimate? If this is just coincidence, why does it always happen between them? If this is just fan service, why does it look the most real when they don't even know they're being filmed? The debate didn't slow down. If anything, it only grew louder. Within hours, the clip wasn't just circulating inside the fandom anymore. It had crossed borders, timelines, and languages. Korean forums, Japanese edits, Indonesian fan accounts, Brazilian Twitter threads, Western reaction channels. Everyone was talking about the same 5 seconds. 5 seconds. That was all it took. 5 seconds to make millions of people question everything they thought they understood about Jungkook and Jimin. New style blogs began calling it the airport moment. Reaction videos popped up with titles like, "This changes everything," and "You can't tell me this is just friendship." Even casual listeners, people who weren't deep into BTS lore, paused and said the same thing. Wait, why does that feel so intimate? Because it didn't look loud. It wasn't dramatic. There was no hugging, no obvious skinship, no grand romantic gesture. And maybe that's exactly why it hit harder. It was quiet, soft, subtle. The kind of closeness you only notice when two people have known each other for far too long. The kind that can't be rehearsed. The kind that slips out naturally when you forget the world is watching. Frame by frame, fans dissected it like evidence in a courtroom. The way Jungkook's body automatically angled toward Jimin, creating an invisible shield between him and the crowd. The way his hand twitched slightly, almost like he wanted to reach out but stopped himself. The way Jimin didn't step away, didn't create space, didn't look uncomfortable. Instead, he stayed right there. Like that space beside Jungkook was exactly where he belonged. And then there was the look again. That look people couldn't stop replaying. Not playful, not teasing, but warm, gentle, safe. The kind of look that says, "I'm here. Don't worry." Some fans admitted they cried watching it. Not because it was shocking, but because it felt tender, real, human. In an industry full of polished smiles and perfectly timed fan service, raw moments like that were rare. Dangerously rare. Because raw moments don't lie. And the more people watched, the harder it became to label it as coincidence. Old clips resurfaced. Jungkook subconsciously matching Jimin's walking pace years ago. Jimin instinctively turning to look for Jungkook in crowded rooms. Hands brushing for half a second too long. Private whispers caught accidentally by backstage cameras. Moments everyone once laughed off as just cute. But now they look different. Like puzzle pieces finally forming a bigger picture. A picture no one dared to confirm out loud. Because confirming it would mean something huge. Something the industry rarely allows. Something both beautiful and terrifying. So the fandom stood divided. Half saying, "It's just friendship, stop overthinking." The other half whispering, "But what if it's more?" And maybe the truth sits somewhere in between. Or maybe the truth has been right in front of us this whole time, hidden inside tiny gestures, silent glances, and seconds the camera accidentally caught. Because sometimes the loudest confessions aren't spoken, they're simply seen. And after that airport day, after that camouflage cap, after that quiet lean-in, and that unreadable whisper, one thought keeps echoing louder than anything else.